goes without saying that startups can be created from anywhere, and it's often the countries with the highest needs that bring the biggest opportunities. Today we're going to talk about pros of launching startups in developing countries. Taha Jiwaji is the founder of Beem, Africa's leading cloud communication and messaging providers with a presence across 18 countries and partnerships with 45 mobile networks. He has been critical to building a customer base of over 750 clients, including brands such as Nestlé, Samsung, Qatar Airways, and UBA Bank. I think the CEO actually represents the company heart. So what would you tell is so special about Beem? I'm not saying about services you provide. I speak more about approach towards people, because I truly believe that's something that connects brands with people.
No, of course. I think we've been very deliberate about a couple of things when we're working with customers. One, which is particularly kind of important to me, is that to make technology simple, right? Because a lot of times technology is perceived to be very complicated, and that, especially in our markets in Africa, where consumers are, or businesses are just starting to adopt technology. So, sometimes they're scared because it sounds complicated, or it's something that they don't understand. So we've been deliberate in kind of trying to make it very simple. And also, if we don't do something, it's okay to tell a customer, look, we don't do this. This is where you can go to get this, right? Because at the end of the day, it helps them solve their problem, whatever it may be. And it builds trust, right? Because trust is what's going to build the business over time and keep customers coming back. So even if that customer doesn't buy at that point in time, they know that you're going to give them some information that is going to help them. And then, at some point in the future when they need you, they'll come back. So those are some of the, I would say, things that we've kind of been very deliberate about and made it a point to stick to.
Amazing. And you also mentioned that you're operating in Africa. And I think it's quite challenging because there are lots of developing countries. And please tell me what kind of challenges you faced and how did you actually overcome it? You mentioned simplifying the language, how you present services. Maybe something else to share, because I know that there are so many business owners who want to discover new opportunities for developing countries.
Yeah, Africa has a lot going for it. In terms of macro trends and demographics, there's a lot of people that are getting online and are connecting to digital services for the first time. So, in essence, it's almost, for someone who's, in Europe or in North America, it's things that you would have been used to maybe 15, 20 years ago are now becoming mainstream, right? Or you've skipped them completely and you've leapfrogged. So, it's almost kind of virgin territory in that sense. But that comes with its own set of challenges. I'd like to, my analogy for this is that in Africa or in the West, everything has already been fixed. Most of the basic challenges have already been fixed.
Definitely.
And you're just doing incremental improvements on them. Whereas in Africa, nothing is fixed, everything's broken. So the opportunity to fix things that are plentiful, it's just kind of, what are you going to tackle? And does it make sense to tackle that? Africa, like we like to say Africa, but really it's, a lot of small countries. And each country and market has its nuances, its culture, language, politics, history. Everything has to be put in context. And each one kind of behaves differently. So you have to be aware of that. It's not something that you can say one size fits all for all of Africa. So anyone trying to do business on the continent has to be aware of that from the beginning.
Now talking about you, what actually motivates you? What drives you forward? How do you get this energy to move and move and move? Unstoppable, because it's, as you mentioned, technology industry. You shouldn't stop.
Yeah, it's a good question. What keeps me going? I think the biggest thing has been that I don't think I've made enough impact. I think my goal has always been to kind of really enable those small businesses, right? Like my parents, to help them grow through technology, because only technology can get you from 1 or 2 to 10.
From zero to hero.
Yeah, zero to hero, right? And how can a lot of businesses get a taste of that, right? Because once you get a taste of it, then I'm going to keep trying technology in different forms to get me another 0 to 10, right? So I feel like we haven't touched enough businesses, and that's partly what keeps me going, and also kind of I think success. The definition of success changes, right? So your metric for success was different when you started. Now it's different, and so you always want to keep growing and meeting those new metrics that you set yourself on. So yeah.
We started to talk about success. You started to talk about success. So now my next question, what is a success for you? What is a success for your company, for your personality?
No, I think we've been lucky and we've been successful at kind of growing in many different ways. Growing to new markets, growing our product portfolio, growing as a brand. I think we rebranded last year, so I think that has had a lot of positive impact, and it has been an evolution for the company. I think what's missing is really, like I mentioned before, we want to impact a lot more businesses. How can we get our tools and our technology in the hands of a lot more businesses at the SME level who haven't touched or experienced these things before? And in a lot of, maybe in a lot of the markets we're not in deep. Mm-hmm. So how can we get deeper in 3, 4, 5 markets and really make a bigger impact in terms of putting our brand out there, getting a lot more customers interacting with our technology, and seeing a positive result for their business, but also that the trickle down, right? Because really these SMEs are what drive the economy, and it's an immediate trickle down of more jobs, more business, and more prosperity for all the stakeholders.
Definitely. So what is your approach to growing the client base? Maybe set of strategies which work quite well together.
In terms of growing, I think we've been differentiating our product, right? So to really make it very, 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 very self-service and simple as much as possible, right? So even now we keep finding different roadblocks or things that are kind of making it difficult for people to start using our platform. So I think that's something we're continuously evolving. But also, a lot of different marketing experiments. We like to experiment and keep trying out different things because, as technology people, you like to do digital marketing and think, okay, that's enough.
Yeah.
But, that's only X percentage of the audience, right? And particularly in Africa, because, a lot of customers maybe are not as technology savvy and maybe the decision makers are older and aren't as technology savvy. So, we need to try all kinds of avenues to get in front of them and get them to express interest and try us out.
What kind of
so
approach,
these are some of the
what kind of approach works the best in Africa now?
Yeah, so it's really a combination, but aside from the standard kind of digital marketing, we've really been experimenting with offline, like billboards, video billboards, some radio. How do we tie all of these things, this maybe traditional kind of marketing mechanisms, and bring it back to digital, so that we drive uptake. But we also we experiment with, because we understand business is about relationships. We've tried different kind of reseller and affiliate programs to drive uptake and incentivize other people to recommend us or resell our platform, because they, a business owner is comfortable with someone, that's who they talk to for technology, or because they need help, right? A lot of the times because they're not comfortable with technology, they need help from someone. And we need to enable their go-to person to, use us as the primary platform. So we have a strong reseller program, an affiliate program, and something called a champion program, where we actually certify software developers to use our tools. So then if anyone wants to use our APIs, but doesn't have the maybe technical know-how, we refer them to these champions so that they can help them get onboarded.
Wow.
Similar to like what a Cisco certification or a Microsoft certification would be. We've created like a Beem certification, you could say. So those are some innovative kind of different ways we've tried to get ourselves out there and get in front of the right decision makers and help them get onboarded to try our tools.
Thank you very much for this inspirational speech, for answering questions. I think it's quite exciting, and I think the main lessons I've learned for me is that you need to keep moving forward, because our world is changing, especially technology. And second, experimenting, not being afraid to do new things. And
No, thank you. You summarized it well.
Thank you very much. I hope that everything will be okay. We believe in your bright future. And thank you for being with us.
All right. Thank you very much. Nice talking to you.
All the best. Thank you so much for being with us. In our next episode, Taha will share his tips on how to hire the right people. Don't forget to subscribe and to like this video.